Hey guys, I'm Gabby with Casa de Nall and welcome to our backyard. I am just making a quick video to kind of reintroduce myself. We actually started this process a few years ago, and then I decided to take a break, and then here recently I felt like, you know what, it's time, let's just give it another shot. But anyways, my husband and I, we like to jokingly call ourselves the backyard chicken farmers right now, because chickens are definitely the gateway drug into farming. We live in the city, in Oklahoma City, and we have backyard chickens, so it's pretty fun. I'm so excited to share our journey with you. So right now it's morning time. The ladies are just out and about grazing in the yard, and as you can see, there really isn't a whole lot of green, but they are detecting the little bits and pieces that are coming up. This is a traditional urban backyard, nothing fancy. We have all the things, and right smack dab in the middle is our chicken enclosure. We have a few fun things back there for them as well. We closed off certain areas to either A, keep our dogs out, or B, keep the chickens out. Back there we have a couple more, I'll say, makeshift nesting boxes for them, just to come out and have a seat in whenever the one inside is occupied, which it is currently occupied by our heavy broody baby Sheila. Now, as far as our coop setup, we actually have a large enclosure for the chickens. I mean, you can't really see it right now. We still have our winter tarps on. In the wintertime, we put tarps on, and then we'll have tons of hay inside, tons of straw inside to help keep the ladies nice and warm. But this is honestly an enclosure that we found online, Amazon to be exact. My husband and I built it together in a day. We put it together within a day, super easy. And then the coop that we have inside, my parents had actually found it on like Craigslist. There was a guy in Sand Springs who was building them all out of wood, put them together. It gets the job done for us. We have one nesting box in here that we use for the chickens. It is currently occupied by Miss Sheila. Say hi, Sheila. Sheila says hi. We're gonna let her be. She is always broody. Though she lays the most beautiful pink eggs, that she only lays for us a few times a year because she spends most of her time in that box. So that is also why we went and found these cool chests, cut some holes in it so that way we can provide additional nesting boxes for our chickens. Over here there is actually a smaller coop. This coop used to be up there. We actually had it on one of the garden beds, one of the raised beds. When we had the younger chickens, it's really two flocks. We had a flock of like 6 to 7 to start. One of them died, so then we had the 6. And then about a year ago, a little over a year ago, so about 15 months ago, a local chicken guy, he had some chicks that just hatched, and I wanted more babies, and so we got them. And then we ended up having 2 different flocks. So we call them like the bigs and the littles, which is funny because they're basically all the same size now. But we started out with 2 reds, 2 Rhode Island reds, a cinnamon queen, buff Orpington, and 2 Easter eggers, which just means that they will lay colorful eggs, which they did, both of them did. And then with the second batch of chickens that we got, they were just kind of like a backyard bunch, just a mix of all the things. But our second bunch, amazing layers. Our first bunch, the Easter eggers, though beautiful, they didn't lay very much, and now we have a very broody butt in the nesting box who hogs it. So this coop was the original littles coop that we had, and we wanted to keep them close so that way we knew what was going on with them. And this is just 3 pallets that we put together with the tarp on top, and then we put some plastic on the front to keep a lot of the wind from coming in. But again, you can't tell right now, but this bigger tarp on the outside normally isn't on here. We just have a smaller tarp that goes on top to keep the rain off the chickens, just kind of help keep them somewhat out of the elements. But we're just finishing up wintertime here in the city, so we haven't completely pulled it off. Again, we don't put seeds in the ground until after tax day, kind of same. We're not pulling off that tarp until after tax day when we're absolutely sure we are all done with the freeze here in Oklahoma. I'll go ahead and show you a couple of the areas that we have right now. We have over there a little compost pile that we're starting. I say little, it's large pallets, but it's little right now because it was bigger when we started and it's since gone down. I emptied it out earlier, I want to say last week, let the chickens kind of dig through it and kind of turned it a bit. Over here, let's start. Let's be honest. Right now, the backyard's looking pretty barren, but there is lots of life in it, I promise. Over here, we normally have cannas, which they will be coming back. There is some green in there you can't really see right now, but there's some spots where they're trying to sprout back up. Again, it looks pretty bleak right now, but there's still lots of hope, lots of cleaning that I need to do. I've kind of been busy the past few months. Just lots of personal stuff going on. We were actually fostering a few kiddos, so that took up a lot of our time, which is truly a blessing. But I'm also excited now that the sun's coming out, we can get back outside. Over here we have three raised beds, beds that my husband built for me, just that we did together. I haven't completely decided what all I'm putting in. This is our second year with the beds. We've had those two for 2 years. That one over there we've had for 1. Over here we have another bed. This one is full of strawberry plants. I'm gonna leave it there for now because I don't have a place where I want to necessarily put them in the ground. So we're just gonna keep working with that. I have grown them before in that bed. They were fairly small. It's okay. My goal right now is just to hold on to them, and then once we get ready to move, then I'll move them somewhere else where we have more space. Over here I've had potatoes. I've also done peppers, which we had a really amazing pepper plant last year. In the second bed we've done onions. We've also done a few potatoes over there too. In that farthest bed, sorry, I kind of closed myself off, and I don't want I used to have this whole space open where the chickens can come up and I can see them on the patio, which is wonderful, but it also meant a whole lot of spraying down and cleaning that I had to do. I recently started cleaning up this whole area again now that the sun's coming out, and I don't want to have to hose down that patio again, so I have them fenced off, and so they have free range of this. Unless it's super hot, then I may close them off in the back corner. As the trees come in, it provides shade for them. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Over here in that longer bed back that way, we've done herbs. I've had lettuce. I've done some spinach in that one. We also had tons and tons of cucumbers. That was quite the experience. That made gardening way fun. So yeah, here's just a better view of this area. So actually some of that oregano is coming back. You'll notice lots of little sprouts that are coming up. Those are not plants that we're necessarily wanting. In this corner over here, I usually have really tall, just wild sunflowers, nothing special. In the buckets I had done tomatoes. We're not doing that again. The tomatoes did way better in the ground, and I'm gonna do less. But all these sprouts that you see, sunflowers, so I really need to go in, finish cleaning it up, pulling those out. There was some extra dirt. I had let the chickens, no, correction, I did not let the chickens back here. They snuck in there, those little boogers. I love my fluffy butts, but they are sneaky little things too. They are so smart, so smart. And they got in there and dug out a bunch of the dirt, finding all the worms and stuff, and then it messed up my rocks over here. So that's why these look super nice, and that just looks like literally dirt. So I need to go in and do a bit of cleanup. I'm debating if I'm gonna take all those out, put in fresh rock, or just suck it up. Anyways, so all these sprouts over here are actually sunflowers because I had ginormous wild sunflowers and all the seeds blew. But I also love my sunflowers because we get lots of birds that come in. Yeah. So another thing you may notice is that we are missing a lot of grass. Oh, the dirt is just so compact. And it just kind of broke my heart because I had worked so hard to get grass to grow in here last year, but just with the few months, I'll say the late fall and all of winter, we had much more stuff going on inside the house with all the kiddos, so I just didn't have time really to, I didn't seed the way that I originally planned to. I planned to put out fresh seed. Anyways, there was one thing that I wanted to show you guys, but I'm so excited for when it gets warm enough and this hatches. We are expecting praying mantis babies. I'm so excited. Why am I excited? A friend told me that if you have a praying mantis in your yard, the feng shui is good. Which meant a lot because I had no idea what I was doing the past few years as far as gardening. I feel like we're just getting it down. So fun fact, we are actually renters. Yes, we rent in the city and we have backyard chickens. What in the world? So we are very blessed just that our landlord would allow us to do it. And even before we got our chickens, we still talked with the HOA because there is an HOA for this neighborhood, but they were totally fine with us doing it. Sorry, totally is a loose, that's an exaggeration. HOA was very kind and said, well, it's city ordinance, it's fine, so we're not gonna hold you back. Thank you. There are other HOAs who will completely ban it or say no. I kind of find that ridiculous. If you're already paying for the house, you're paying taxes, you should be able to do what you want. It's your property, but this is not our property. We are going to be respectful of those around us and those who own it, and they were totally fine with it. So we are just very grateful to be able to do it. So you never know. I say, just if you aren't sure, ask lots of questions, try and find out, give it a shot. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us in our backyard. Be sure to subscribe to Casa de Nall for more updates and to see what we got going on.